What's going on, guys? This is Gene Jensen, and in this video we ask the question, is the new Evo as good as the Jack Hammer? All right, so the Evo, I guess I'll start off with telling a story. So the Evo, when it first came out, literally the week it hit the market, I was at Guntersville. I was pre-fishing for a tournament, and I ran to the tackle store and picked up 3 or 4. I already knew what colors I wanted. I got the chartreuse and white, and I got a couple of white ones. I went and picked them up, and I was like, well, it's a good time for me to go and figure out whether they are as good as a Jack Hammer. If you guys know me in the history of the Jack Hammer, I have won thousands of dollars on the Jack Hammer, and the Jack Hammer itself has won millions and millions of dollars for tournament anglers. It is an amazing bait. I'm a huge fan. If my wife knew how much money I've spent on Jack Hammers in the last several years, she would be very, very, very upset with me. I've a few paychecks, let's just put it that way. But I love the Jack Hammer, and I am still a fan of a Jack Hammer, and I will always be a fan. But I wanted to see if this new Evo was what they said it was. So just a second, let me go grab one, and I'm gonna talk a little bit about it. All right, so this is the Evo. Matter of fact, this is the one I bought at the store. This is, it's a chartreuse and green pumpkin, a little bit of white on it, and then I matched it with a paddle tail trailer. And what I was doing with it at the time is I was trolling behind the boat, ripping it through grass and catching the snot out of fish. But I'm gonna take the trailer off since it's all, look at all the teeth marks on it, see? I'm not lying, there's teeth marks on there. I caught a ton of fish on it. But pop that trailer off, and I'm gonna show you a few things about the Evo real quick. The blade. One thing I noticed about the blade is the chrome doesn't come off, or the gold color doesn't come off. I've got some Jack Hammers that have the chrome just totally missing, and it happened in a short amount of time, but the actual chrome on here really does stay on a lot better. That was the first thing I noticed. The other thing is the different kind of hook keeper. So it's got this right here, and then it's got another hook right there, if you guys can see that. And I love this because this is a perfect place to put super glue and keep your stuff on there and make it last forever and ever. This Yamamoto trailer right here that I had, the Seiko trailer, lasted 20 fish just by super gluing it on there. I really did not have a problem with it tearing off, plus they were absolutely annihilating it. Another thing is it's got different colors, but at first notice, if you look at the head, okay, and if you were to compare it to a Jack Hammer, which for some stupid reason, I don't have it. Let me grab one off the boat. Okay. If you look at the head of a Jack Hammer, it's just rounded, okay? And this one has these little lips right here, these little fins, or whatever you want to call them, that stick out on the side. That doesn't seem like much, but what that does is, as you're bringing it through wood or lily pads or anything like that, that little lip prevents it from turning over. Because what happens with chatterbaits, they're notorious for, is as you're bringing them through and they hit a limb, they'll roll over and get hooked up, and you'll snag them a lot. And I've always preached, do not fish a chatterbait anywhere near wood, anywhere near cover. This one comes through pretty good. You'll still get it snagged from time to time, but it comes through really, really well, especially lily pads. And of course, the brush piles and stuff like that. Still can't get it through a Christmas tree, but it's a Christmas tree. Everything gets hung in it. So that's one big difference. Another one is the hook. Okay, so the Jack Hammer hook is stout. It is such a good wide gap hook. It is real, the hookup ratio is great. It's a solid hook, so you don't mess it up too much. And I fish very, very aggressively. And this one is the same style, okay? It's a little less of an open. You can see how it's just a little bit more closed, but I was trolling at 3 miles an hour, and it's kind of a cool pattern, and I'll tell you a little bit about it. What I was looking for with my live scope in front of the boat at 3 miles an hour is I was looking for clumps of milfoil, and I was running my trolling motor through that milfoil at 3 miles an hour, had a cast distance behind me trolling the bait, and I'd hit that milfoil and it would scatter the bluegill, and the bass that were cruising around those clumps would start feeding on the bluegill, and as I brought this bluegill colored chatterbait through, they would hit it and I'd catch them. Pretty cool little deal, but going 3 miles an hour and getting hit by a bass and setting the hook in the whole 9 yards is pretty, it gives a good testimony of how good this hook is. Another thing is the colors. It does have different colors. You don't get the same. I've got some favorite color jackhammers, like when I'm down here in Florida like I am right now, like the golden shiner and the bluegill color and that kind of stuff. And the first ones that came out didn't have those similar colors, like this one right here, a little bit of orange, a little bit of green. They may have them now, but they didn't, so I didn't pick any up. But this one right here worked as a very good bluegill color. And they have black and green pumpkin. I can't remember what other colors they have. White, of course, white and chartreuse. But it's, in my opinion, it's as good as a jackhammer, okay? It's $5 cheaper or $7 cheaper, depending on what store you get it at. And it's so far so good. It's been a really good, really good bait. So far, I haven't been able to find anything wrong with it. I haven't been able to see a difference that makes it better or worse than a jackhammer, if you understand what I'm saying. So in my opinion, it's as good. Don't be afraid to go get one. And don't be afraid to try it out. It's great. But well, like I always say, be sure to introduce somebody to fishing. Introduce them to my channel. Let me help you teach them how to fish. More importantly, get out of the water, go out and catch some fish, and have a great day. We'll see you.